everyone, and welcome back to another Tom Talk Stuff. I'm Gleeman Tom, and today we've got another anime to cover. The Seven Deadly Sins, Signs of a Holy War. Ah, yes, another installment from one of my favorite anime studios, A1 Pictures. I just can't help but love so much of what these guys put out. Fairy Tail, SAO, Blue Exorcist, Ultimate Otaku Teacher. There's their animes always look so damn good and sound good too. I mean, if I'm ever iffy on an anime and someone tells me it's from A1, I'm sold. You don't really have to tell me anything more than that. Now, The Seven Deadly Sins has been licensed by Netflix. It has been since season 1 in dub. And it's one of the always things that made me kind of wonder, it's a Netflix original is how they place it, but it didn't, originate on Netflix. I always thought that was kind of weird, but it is licensed by Netflix, so if you ever want to watch the dub, that's where you go. Now, I was a little bit irritated about their advertising for this because they're putting Signs of a Holy War as a season 2, and it's really not. I don't remember when it got advertised as a season 2. When I first got introduced to it back either August or September, when it was still in sub and it was still coming out intermittently, I was under the understanding it was like a little OVA series that was being put out while they spent more time working on season 2 and allowing more source material to build up. So I just want to say this there and clear. It's really not a season 2. It's much more like a season 1.5. Do you guys remember the end of the first season of the Seven Deadly Sins? They beat Hendrickson and Dreyfus. They got through all this fight. They celebrated for a few days that was not really seen on there, and then they're leaving. They're heading on. And they show up at the castle, and they kidnap, much to her relief, they kidnap Princess Elizabeth and take her with them. And he said, I promised you to find all the 7 deadly sins, but we've only found 6, because they have yet to find pride. So, what the Signs of the Holy War are about is about those days of celebration before Meliodas takes off. And they're actually really kind of good. There's not much story overall. The only real meaty bits are the last minute or so of each episode after the ending song. And you see Hendrix's demon arm flying, and you see Dreyfus, which for some reason, I thought he died. But I'm starting to think this isn't actually Dreyfus, that this is Dreyfus possessed by a demon of some sort. And it goes to Hendrickson, and Hendrickson has the key to unlocking the demon clan. And just like a minute of that is shown at the end of each episode. So those are the real meaty parts. And other than that, we just have daily episodes. The first one was Hawk disappearing and everyone chasing him down. The second one was a fight between Meliodas and Bon in this really cool cube that Merlin made. It allowed them to go all out, and I loved that fight because it was so damn brutal, man. You saw blood splatter all over that thing, and these guys just got back up and fought some more. It was really great. The third episode was kind of a date between Deanne and King, and the last episode was chasing down that sorceress, that witch who worked for Hendrickson and them, Merlin's assistant, who was still obsessing over Gildharts. Wow. Gilthunder. And that was it. That was all it was. And the problem with this is that they were really fun and really enjoyable episodes, but what made it so frustrating is they only gave you enough episodes to make you crave for more, So when you finally get used to the idea of your favorite show being back, it's over. And not only that, it ends on a cliffhanger. A cliffhanger that, if I'm right, kind of messes up the end of season 1. In the end of season 1, they just take her and they're going to look for Pride. Fun fact, Pride is actually shown in the end of this, in the last episode. Would you see like the column of purple light, pink light going to the side, and you see this kind of diminutive a mustached man coming out and looking up at that is Pride. So that's kind of cool. We finally got to see what he looks like. Um, but it was just kind of frustrating that you're like, yes, this is great. Yes, this is great. And it's over. It's done. There's no more. There's no more for you. Um, the show is pretty good. You have Princess Elizabeth still working at the Boar Hat for some reason. We're back in her country. She is the third princess of Leonis. And then we have this third princess of Leonis waking up, getting dressed into her hostess uniform, leaving her castle and running through town telling villagers to come stop by that boar hut. She still acts like an employee, which I think is crazy. Seriously, how insane is that? Really think about it. If you were in this time, if you were just a villager in here, and you saw your princess running by you, scantily clad, and telling you to come have a drink at a bar, isn't that odd? I mean, it's a little weird. And she comes and then she cleans up and she waitresses, and this is what she does. She goes home at the end of the night, and she comes back in the morning. But she spends all of her time with Meliodas and at the Boar Hat. And I just thought that was amusing. Other than that, we get more of the kind of fight between King and Hauser as both are into Deanne. And I like that we still have Deanne as a short person. She doesn't become a giant this entire 4 episodes. And I hope she's allowed to keep those pills, because it's nice that she'd be able to keep those pills. She has to be more included in stuff. Of course, we'll need her to become a giant again, but it would be nice if she has the option to be small, because we all know that was kind of a pain for her, and it's caused her real issues. So it's nice that can be short. And throughout this episode, Hauser has been flirting with her, or trying to flirt with her constantly, and it's really amusing because King is almost belligerent in getting in the way of it. During the fight with Meliodas and Bond up in the cube in the sky, Hauser spots Deanne, and he's like, "Oh, Dad!" And he goes over to see her, and King gets right in front of her. He floats down and blocks the view, and when he blows him away with his wind magic kind of stuff, he just sends the chastity down in like the teddy bear version to keep blocking his way. It was just really funny. The third episode that was basically a date between Deanne and King, it really made me wonder, does Deanne kind of remember Harlequin? Does she remember him from all of those hundreds of years ago? I mean, not vividly and not perfectly, but does she kind of understand that I've known this person for a long time? There's more that's happening, and she's kind of accepting this, because if you ask me, she's going on with her liking of the captain and her admiration of the captain, but she's showing a lot more real feelings towards King. And it's really kind of nice. I enjoy it. It's good for King. Other than that, we get to see more of Gil Thunder's softer side. We get to see him geeking out over the 7 deadly sins, and he's in every episode hanging out at the Boar Hat and drinking and talking with his heroes and hanging out with his buddies. And it's really nice to see that softer side of him. It's not something we got to see for, because he had to play the villain. He had to suffer that role. And to see him geek out over Meliodas and Bond fighting, or, be so jealous that that Hauser got to fight King, and it's just really amusing, and it's wonderful that you got to see who he really is and not who he had to pretend to be. It kind of disappointed me that we didn't get to see more of Margaret, his princess. We didn't get to see her. We see her like 2 or 3 times in the entire 4 episodes. It would have been nice to see them interacting, but I don't think there's a single episode with them in the same area. I mean, at least not that I can remember off the top of my head. Well, anyways, that's it. It was a good, solid couple of episodes, but it wasn't a whole season, and that irks me. Because now that I've watched it, all I want is to watch the next season. And guess what? The season's not coming for a while. I've heard that it may be coming out the summer of 2017, or it might be coming out early 2018, and that's just not good enough. That is just not good enough. I knew that the moment I watched these 4 episodes, I would be upset. I remember I watched at least the first two in sub when they originally came out, back in the day. But now that I gotta watch them all in dub, I'm a little irritated because all I want is more Seven Deadly Sins, and there is no more Seven Deadly Sins for a while. So yeah, that's kind of frustrating. Well, that's everything, I guess. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this anime. If you enjoyed this video about this anime, I hope you enjoyed the Signs of the Holy War. If there's any other anime you want me to cover or any kind of thing you want me to talk about, put it in the comments below. Remember, I'm also on Google Plus under Gleeman Thom, as well as Tinder and Pinterest, also as Gleeman Thom. So, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again. Bye.